The production of Bentley super luxury cars is of a very high standard. As you can see right now, even the employee who assembles the engines in the factory wears a luxury Rolex Submariner watch. This is the Bentley Factory in England near Crewe. It employs approximately 4,000 people. Production of all Bentley models begins with car body welding, as you can see for yourself right now. Bentley cars are not mass-produced, but produced in very small numbers, largely by hand. Only around 14,000 Bentleys are produced each year. Workers will now polish and check the quality of the car's bodywork. You are currently watching the production of the Bentley Mulsanne. Bentley is the official supplier of cars to the English royal family. On the high-tech assembly lines in the plant, the technicians make dreams come true. Overhead cranes bring a new vehicle framework to the assembly line every 9 minutes. The core of the body structure is composed of an efficient, optimized mix of materials developed to minimize weight whilst maintaining stiffness and strength. Roughness on the bodywork is solved not only by polishing and sanding, but surprisingly also by hand with this hammer. Other parts of the car are gradually attached to the main welded body frame. Now the car will move on to these illuminated LED tunnels for the first quality check. The most time-consuming model to produce was the Mulsanne. From start to finish, the Mulsanne took approximately 400 hours to produce. Most Bentley cars are sold to the United States each year, around 4,000. The second largest customer is China, where around 3,000 are sold, and in third place are customers in Europe. On average, 33 Bentley Continental GTs, 18 Flying Spurs, and 33 Bentaygas are built a day. Manipulator arm mounted in the factory ceiling is used to move the body across the factory. In 1998, Bentley was acquired by the Volkswagen Group, immediately investing over $1 billion to upgrade the factory. The 500 employees on the approximately 2-kilometer-long painting line, which is 1.2 miles, have just one objective: absolute perfection. Usually in 1 week, the paint shop can finish painting 350 to 400 Bentley car bodies. The color paint is applied automatically, so that no part of the body shell is left unpainted. The 6 robot arms are able to raise or open all movable parts of the vehicle. First, the bodywork is cleaned, degreased, and immersed in a zinc phosphate solution to ensure optimum adhesion of the subsequent corrosion protection. This is applied in the cathodic dip coating process. After the subsequent seam sealing in the PVC line, 3 different layers of paint are applied: filler, top coat, and clear coat. The transformation to a dream factory will help Bentley achieve its aim of becoming the world's most sustainable luxury automotive manufacturer. It will offer customers an expanded selection of paint colors with nearly 100 individual colors. For a base color, the robot sprays 7 kilos of paint onto the body. The painting process takes exactly 12.5 minutes. Most Bentley models are assembled here. Some cars are also built at the Volkswagen plant in Germany and the Bentayga at the Bratislava plant. In addition, Bentley cars are not made anywhere else. The professional painters sand each uneven area flat no matter how small. 6 employees now sand and polish each of the surfaces. No bumps are permitted in the paintwork later on. Precision polishing and refinishing of Bentley vehicles is a matter of course. Such expensive cars are delivered to customers in absolutely immaculate condition. This last layer lends the vehicle skeletons their final gloss and protects them from UV radiation. Following the lacquering process, each car undergoes fine sanding and is polished with lamb's wool for 12 hours, resulting in a reflective finish dubbed by Bentley as the mirror finish. Customers are offered a choice from a palette of over 140 exterior paint colors from Bentley, or they can opt to create a custom color, matching it to a precious object if desired. As you can see for yourself, the constant repetitive polishing and quality control at the Bentley Factory near Crewe is unmatched by conventional car makers. After 48 hours, a freshly painted car body shell heads off to the main assembly line. It is now 16 kilos heavier. Employees inside the Bentley factory are required to wear a company uniform with the company logo in their name. The interiors of all Bentley cars are a blend of craftsmanship. You are now watching the entire manufacturing process of the leather trim inside the vehicles. The luxury British Coupe A contains the hides of up to 12 European bulls. When selecting them, the factory workers make sure that the leather is flawless but still looks natural. Bentley's clients may select and choose leather hides in 14 different colors, which they can match with 23 thread options. Using special chalk, this employee marks the different parts of the car's interior that are cut from this leather. Holograms are projected onto the cut skin so that the operator can pick out the useful parts. This CNC computer numeric control machine automatically cuts the required pieces of leather. The machine cuts out the parts marked with chalk. Although Bentley cars are crafted by hand, devices such as this obviously help in the production process. Supple leathers are of the highest quality, using special tanning processes that allow the leathers to retain their aroma. Expert craftsmen create a variety of contrasting embroideries on the leather and interior upholstery, commissioned by the car's future owner. Hand embroidery with cross-stitch is not common in car manufacturing. Apart from Bentley, Rolls-Royce and Aston Martin have a similar approach. Around 15 hides go into every Mulsanne, around 14 into Bentayga, 13 into the Flying Spur, and 10 or 11 go into the Bentley Continental GT. In the Flying Spur alone, it takes 26 hours to cut, stitch, and trim the seats, and every leather panel is initialed on the reverse by the upholsterer, a personal hallmark of quality in every car. The quality of the stitching and embroidery is crucial to the exquisite interior finish of every Bentley. Much of it is still done by hand, often for the simple reason that it is impossible to meet the Bentley standard using machines alone. A beautiful Bentley cabin is not easy to achieve. It's the culmination of a process that starts with Bentley leather inspectors, checking rawhide for natural defects, and ends with some of the finest crafted car interiors in the world. The leather that encases the steering wheels, for example, cannot be adequately stitched into place by machine. The entire stitching process takes 5 hours, during which 10 meters of thread are used in the insertion of 620 separate stitches. Depending on the model, they are available in a wealth of colors, many of which can be applied to softer, semi-aniline leathers. The Bentley upholstery and interior manufacturing process is a masterclass in precision craftsmanship and dedication to luxury. Even a job as apparently simple as ensuring the stitches are equidistant is best achieved manually. Much of it is still done by hand, often for the simple reason that it is impossible to meet the Bentley standard using machines alone. The seats in Bentley cars usually have a massage function. Now the durability of the leather on the seats is tested with a special machine that simulates repeated seating. Bentley seats are equipped with memory settings that allow the driver and passenger to store and quickly adjust their preferred seating positions. The seats in a Bentley have to be very durable, and the leather has to be able to withstand tens of thousands of sits, even by heavy people. We will now move on together to the processing and preparation of the wooden elements of the Bentley interior. Every sheet of wood within a complete car comes from the exact same tree. This is to ensure the pattern and color is the same throughout the car and remains consistent during aging. The choice of raw materials is virtually unlimited. It's even possible to use burl wood from a customer's private forest. Each bundle of veneer consists of 24 leaves. Yes, even such extreme details are addressed in the production of this handcrafted ultra-luxury car. With the force of up to 250 tons, the machine now presses the 7 layers together to form a single part. The finished interior trim should look as if it were made from a single piece of wood. Each leaf of wood from the same tree undergoes a process in which the root pith is steamed and cut into very thin slices of minimal thickness. This ensures that the pattern and color remain consistent throughout the entire car and age uniformly. The machine helps wherever absolute precision is required. A laser is used to cut the veneer sheets. It cuts exactly identical paneling from fine wood, resulting in precise, smooth cutting edges. A Bentley wood specialist views around 25,000 square meters of veneer in its raw form during selection, checking every inch to ensure it is of the finest quality, a process that takes 2 days. Wood plays a crucial role, forming a foundation of solid walnut, cherry, or oak that runs through the dashboard and doors of the Bentley car. Laser-cut veneers are mirror-matched to create 33 separate components. These veneers often come from century-old exotic trees, including Vivona from California, Madrona from the US, olive ash from Europe and Southwest Asia, Tomo ash from China, or bird's eye maple from North America. Please let me know if you like the wooden interior of Bentley cars. Of course, women also work at the Bentley Factory in England. Approximately 70% of the jobs here are filled by female workers. Following sanding, each part receives 5 layers of lacquer, undergoes a 72-hour curing process, is then sanded and polished again before being fitted to the car. The Bentley has generally been well received, with Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear claiming that the ride is quiet and the torques were great, while criticizing the number of switches and the fact that it was less tasteful than a Rolls-Royce Ghost. The beauty and precision of Bentley interiors and their luxurious appearance is one of the reasons the brand is so popular with affluent customers. An exclusive behind-the-scenes visit to Bentley's manufacturing facility in Crewe is available but must be booked online in advance. "10 hours of net time is devoted to the production of the car's interior wood paneling. It takes around 110 hours to build a Bentley Continental GT, around 130 to build a Flying Spur, and 130 to build a Bentayga. Carbon fiber adds a contemporary, sporting feel, and this can also be interwoven with polished metals such as copper and titanium for an eye-catching technical look. The finished parts then go to the warehouse, from where they are then delivered at a predetermined time to the main assembly line. The experienced Bentley tester inspects around 25 sets per day. The team from the plant's in-house woodshop requires a total of 20 days to refine the wood for the interior of just one Bentley car. Now the main assembly line finally begins. First, the painted bodywork is brought in, and the bolting and further assembly of all the bodywork parts begins. This luxury car contains more than 8 kilometers of cables. Its internal electronic architecture encompasses 2,300 circuits and 92 control units. Each car must successfully pass a 600-point checklist during the production process. At the same time as the bodywork is being built, the engine is being assembled in another part of the factory. However, some of the engines are assembled at Volkswagen's main factory in Germany and are then imported to the UK already finished. Since Bentley has decided to build all cars as electric cars by 2030, these combustion engines are no longer produced. The Bentley Mulsanne was produced from 2010 to 2020. It was the Grand Bentley, the flagship car for Bentley. Employees in this factory earn around $30, which is £23. It very much depends on the specific job and the length of time they are employed. The twin-turbo V8 engine was cast at Bridgnorth, England, and fully machined and partially assembled at the company's machining facility in Telford. It is equipped with 2 turbochargers that significantly increase its power while maintaining smoothness. With a light press of the throttle, the system can deactivate 4 of the 8 cylinders, making the engine a more fuel-efficient 4-cylinder. This engine has a long history at Bentley, first introduced in the 1950s and continually refined over the decades. Today's V8 is a descendant of the 1959 engine, but massively improved. It now has over 100% more power, over 100% more torque, 40% less fuel consumption, and produces 99% fewer emissions. This engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission that is specially tuned for smooth and easy shifting. Now, this special chamber is used to test engine performance and design flawlessness. The bolts are tightened, The key points in the engine are lubricated with special oil and everything is cleaned. Bentley's V8 and V12 engines are literally magnificent machines, both in appearance and design. The engine was of an overhead valve design, angled at 90 degrees and featured a central camshaft and wedge-shaped combustion chambers. Bentley's engine builders produce around 30 V12 biturbos per day. When fully assembled, the high-performance unit consists of around 300 individual elements. Both the V8 and V12 engine assembly process uses smaller cranes built into the ceiling structure. When the engine is finished, the lead worker will put a label on the engine with the serial number of the engine, as well as his own name. Now we finally get to the production phase called the marriage. In car manufacturing jargon, the marriage is the moment when the body and chassis are joined together. Now this factory worker will add all the wheels to the new Bentley. These are split-six light alloy wheels. England is renowned as the land of luxury brands. In addition to Bentley, Aston Martin, Rolls-Royce, McLaren, and Jaguar are also made here. Work is now starting on the interior of the Bentley. All the seats will be put in and the wiring to the front dashboard will begin. The handling device helps to position the dashboard absolutely precisely in the cockpit. The tolerance value between the chassis and instrument panel is just 0.1 millimeters. The average Bentley owner has 8 different cars in their garage. While this is a production Bentley Mulsanne, all Bentley cars have a similar production process. The seats are inserted very carefully using the manipulator arm. They must not be damaged. The damage would be very costly. Bentley's slogan is, "To build a fast car, a good car, the best in its class." The doors are always added at the end of the assembly line. The reason for this is easy access to the inside of the car for factory staff. The main assembly line runs almost continuously. Employees work in shifts and must complete everything according to a predetermined schedule. More than 700 businesses supply 18,000 parts from 31 countries and 5 continents to Crewe. 82 suppliers are located within a 50-mile radius of the factory. Bentley's Crewe Genuine Parts facility at Orion Park in Crewe holds over 60,000 parts, providing support for all cars built from 1955 to present day. The occupants are extensively shielded from noises later on during vehicle operation. Bentley's windows are made of special insulating glass. Although new Bentley cars are priced from $210,000, €195,000, £162,000 British pounds, employees are paid similar salaries to other factories in Europe. When you see the famous Big B emblem from afar, you know it's a Bentley. The logo consists of the letter B and 2 flying wings. B naturally stands for Bentley, while the wings signify speed. The Bentley cars are parked in this hall, and gradually, when their turn comes, the drivers take them to the next stage of the production process. Which Bentley model would you like to have in your home? At the end of the production line, each car has to pass 2 more tests. In the rattle and roll test, the engineers really give the content until a thorough shaking. The rollers simulate various road surfaces. On these, the testers accelerate the British car up to 24 kilometers per hour, which is 15 miles per hour, to identify disturbing noises and loose vehicle parts. Test drivers at work drive and test Bentley cars every day, from the time they arrive at work until they leave. Dream job. Bentley will now be taken to a special shower. Here, the jets will be turned on full blast from all sides, and the waterproofing of the car's interior will be tested. Not a single drop of water is allowed to enter the car. Unlike high-speed mass producers, Bentley's Crewe factory uses only around 6 robots, mostly in engine work. Roughly 95% of bodywork tasks are hand-done because the incredibly long cycle times make automation inefficient. Main assembly runs just 8 hours per day, while the leather and wood workshops operate continuously, reflecting the intense hands-on effort these materials demand. Bentley sources its leather exclusively from southern German bulls raised at high altitudes. This avoids insect bites and imperfections, resulting in unusually clean, high-quality hides. A Bentayga uses around 14 bull hides, a flying spur about 13, and a Continental GT around 11. Only about 60% of each hide is usable. The rest is recycled or repurposed. Leatherwork involves laser cutting, then hours of precise hand stitching. Steering wheels alone take up to 4 hours and 620 stitches each. Every veneer sheet used in a vehicle originates from a single tree to ensure seamless pattern and aging. Each car uses a bundle of 24 leaves from that same source. The woodwork, starting from selection in the treasury to sanding, lacquering, curing, and polish, takes up about 5 weeks per batch of veneers. Veneers are laser-cut, hand-sanded, coated with 5 layers of lacquer, heat-cured, and polished meticulously. Any blooming is marked and removed by hand before the mirror finish is achieved. After assembly, each car is inspected against a 500 to 650 point checklist, often in a dedicated excellence center, where staff work in white gloves to ensure pristine delivery quality. The Mulsanne's frame goes through about 5,800 hand welds. Once a week, an engine undergoes a full audit test, running the engine at speeds up to 6,000 revolutions per minute. 20 cars per week undergo a full audit, which includes full function road test, around 40 miles per test, and a full interior and exterior check. The brake system on the Continental GT is the most powerful that has ever been fitted in a Bentley. The front brake discs have a diameter of 42 centimeters. You are now watching the embroidery process on the seats and upholstery of the latest Bentley Continental GT. This main assembly line is where all interior components are assembled into Bentley cars. Sound insulation, windows, lights, electronics, steering wheel and gear lever fitting, and much more. There is a predetermined sequence of parts to be assembled. The Continental GT Mulliner is a luxury version of the Continental GT V8, which its interior features have been handcrafted. In April 2024, Bentley built its last W12 engine, after selling more than 100,000 examples of the compact and complex 12-cylinder. The change came as part of Bentley's commitment to becoming a fully electric automaker by 2030, launching one new EV each year starting in 2025. If you're interested in buying a Bentley, prepare to shell out between $280,000 to $390,000 or more. The entire assembly set arrives under the body on a special trolley and is then raised up. The two units are then joined together by workers using manipulators. The largest number of employees work on the main assembly line. The workers have to do almost everything with their own hands. Robots are not helpful here. It takes 45 people 6.5 hours to build one W12 engine before undertaking a highly sophisticated test regime of over an hour via 3 specialist diagnostic machines during the engine's assemble. Bentley cars also use plastic parts in their vehicles, similar to BMW and Mercedes. These parts can include components such as interior trim, bumpers, and various covers. The headlight cover snaps on easily. These Bentley cars are raised in height to allow employees easy access under the car. Different models and variants of Bentley cars are assembled on the same production line. Each car has its own birth certificate, which shows employees what to fit to the car depending on the equipment selected. For example, employees are delivered to the production line at a predetermined time. Everything has to be on hand at the designated time. It's a big jigsaw puzzle. Easy and quick. Almost anyone can put the wheels on after practicing. Large pneumatic screwdriver screws in the wheel bolts and tightens them to the ideal torque. The assembly of the seats is also well thought out so that it is not difficult. The car must respond correctly to the throttle, and shifting must be according to predetermined parameters. A combination of 4 chassis technologies give the Continental GT Speed a level of agility, performance, and ride quality that has been stretched to new levels. Continental GT Speed Coupe and Convertible showcases an unrivaled combination of dynamic performance and luxurious ride comfort. At the end of the production line, the car is thoroughly checked both from the driver's position and the quality of the body paint. The price of the 2025 Bentley Continental GT starts at $306,000 and goes up to $363,000, depending on the trim and options. This red color has been very popular on Bentley cars in recent years. Here you can take a look at some parts of the production Bentley Bentayga, among others. It's a luxury full-size 4x4 crossover. The Bentley Bentayga Speed is the world's fastest SUV and the car with the most hours of hand building. It has a 12-cylinder engine with a W layout, which is produced within the Volkswagen Group. The cars are then taken to a test track right next to the factory, where test drivers check the functions of the wipers, lights, and chassis suspension. Every Bentley car is a mobile luxury suite. Even a minibar can be optionally integrated into the refined interior. Naturally, this also includes a set of whiskey glasses made of elaborately cut crystal. You are now watching secret footage of the production of luxury Ferrari Stradale supercars in Italy. This Ferrari Purosangue was officially unveiled on September 13, 2022, and has been in production since 2023, directly from Ferrari's Maranello factory. A demand has far outstripped availability. All production slots are reportedly sold out until 2026, underscoring its coveted status. Ferrari has capped production between 2,200 and 3,000 units per year, reinforcing its exclusivity. To maintain the car's exclusivity and market value, Ferrari has implemented a purchase agreement clause that bars owners from reselling within the first 18 months. A breach of this clause has already triggered legal action. Styled by Ferrari's in-house team under Flavio Manzoni, the Purosangue blends coupe-like fastback lines with innovative doors, though Ferrari maintains a fixed B-pillar with conventional front doors and rear coach suicide doors for rear access. Built on a lightweight space frame chassis, using a blend of aluminum, carbon fiber, and high-strength steel to boost structural rigidity by plus 30%, and beam stiffness by plus 25%. Despite its spaciousness, its construction results in a structure that's lighter than Ferrari's previous four-seaters. Owners benefit from Ferrari's genuine maintenance program, offering scheduled maintenance for the first 7 years, a rare offering in the supercar domain. The Ferrari Purosangue is truly a groundbreaking model for the brand, a family-oriented yet ferociously fast vehicle, blending Ferrari's racing DNA with everyday usability. Its exclusivity, advanced engineering, and record-setting performance make it an extraordinary chapter in Ferrari's evolution. This is the story of Aston Martin car manufacturing. The car maker's only factory is located near Gaydon, England. The Gaydon plant employs around 1,700 people and builds around 6,500 cars a year. These handmade cars are the opposite of regular cars. The atmosphere here is relaxed and not as stressful as in other car factories. Every 45 minutes, the assembly of the next future Aston Martin begins. Cranes are a great help in the production process. Thanks to them, employees can work easily on the chassis. Every car is different. Robots could never do such individual work. That's why every station also demands work by hands. Besides the twin-turbo, the massive steel frame also carries the clutch, an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and the drive shafts. Once the mechanics have put the powerhouse together, a ceiling crane hoists the drivetrain onto an assembly carriage. There's no hectic work schedule on the assembly line. The working atmosphere is relaxed, unlike in most car factories. Now, the finished steel frame is transported to the main assembly line in another part of the Gaydon factory. Now comes a crucial moment. The engine will be connected to the body of the car and inserted into the chassis. Now all the wiring is connected, and hundreds of elements are being attached, by hands, of course. A ceiling crane transports the lightweight frame throughout the factory. The distinctively shaped front bumper gives the British car its unique face. The mechanics install more and more components into the engine bay of the supercar. Daimler owns a 5% stake in the company. In exchange, it produces all electronics and engines for some models. In total, the company has produced around 100,000 Aston Martins since its inception, so the cars are very rare. Now it will move from assembly line to 100 meters of production line. At this station, a trimmer clads the foam of the seat with the decorated skin. For every car the Brits need 6 skins, they are the skins of Scottish bulls. Over 100 highly skilled craftspeople work in this trim shop. It takes 5,000 stitches to embroider a set of wing badges. Individual inspection is completed for every car. For most car companies, it is only random. These seamstresses make the seat covers for the luxury cars. Using different seam sizes and stitch patterns, they work the tucks and ornamental seams into the different types of leather. With the hoist, this employee lifts the ergonomic sports seat into the vehicle. To prevent the paint from getting scratched, he has laid out leather mats as thick as a thumb. Carefully, the mechanic lowers the seats into the inside of the car. Then he puts the steering wheel onto the steering column. The frame fixates the wheel and prevents it from tilting while it's being screwed tight. Now the doors of the new Aston Martin will be installed. Helping out is a robotic arm that carries the weight of the door. In the back of the car, you can see shelves with car parts. As you can see for yourself, handmade doesn't necessarily mean lack of technology. But what handmade does mean is a limited number of cars, and that's the way Aston Martin wants it. Each car is scrutinized before it moves along the 200-hour build process in order to pass final inspection, sometimes conducted by the CEO himself. This part of the production process for the new Aston Martin is called body in white. First, the mechanics prepare the parts with a special primer. This paint protects these elements from corrosion and creates a more stable, adhesive surface. Those elements that will later be exposed to particularly heavy strain are joined with the special adhesive. The pre-assembled parts will now move on to the next assembly. Simple trolleys are used to move the car body. During the last few meters, the mechanics attach all the remaining elements. All in all, the body consists of 170 parts. After 12 hours, a completed Aston Martin Vantage body leaves the assembly line. Very strict safety regulations apply here. Wearing protective clothing is mandatory. Now the body of this supercar is ready for the painting process. The employees are prohibited from using cosmetics like deodorant or perfume. There's too big a risk that foreign particles might settle on the paintwork. Right now, the first primer coat has been applied and allowed to dry for 20 minutes in the rapid dryer. 50 hours to paint one Aston Martin, one of the most intricate processes in the factory. More than 40 specialists involved in the painting of every car. And finally, the robot arms apply another clear coat of finish. Robotic arms are programmed to use a minimum of paint with the highest accuracy. Now comes the detailed quality control by trained factory staff. First, they use so-called daisy discs to carefully sand the relevant area. Then they polish the surface to a mirror finish using special polishing pastes. This is how about 30 car bodies are produced every day here in Gaydon Factory. All Aston Martin cars are made by hand. Quality check is crucial. In the light tunnel, the painters can spot even the smallest of flaws. They check the fresh coat of paint for dust inclusions and paint runs. The Aston Martin Vantage is now at the finishing straight of the assembly line. Once the brake wiring has been connected, the car can proceed to the next stop. The employees clamp the naked frame of the dashboard in a rotatable mount. The front dashboard is put together at its own small assembly line in the factory. The Aston Martin DB11, Vanquish, Rapide, and Vantage models are made at the Gaydon Factory, UK. Aston Martin couldn't survive if it only focused on the old way of doing things. Computer screens flash a few feet from tailors hunched over sewing machines as they stitch together seats from a computer-generated pattern. Quality control includes 22 employees. They check every single feature of the newly produced Vantage. The quality control has to be done quickly and effectively, so the assembly line won't come to a standstill. This is the production process of the Aston Martin DBX SUV for a change. This is Aston Martin's second factory in England. It serves as the production site for Aston Martin's first ever SUV, the DBX. The current Aston Martin models that can be purchased are the DB12, DBS, DBX, Vantage, and the most expensive Valkyrie. The company has survived 7 bankruptcies throughout its history. The brand has a long history of producing high-end sports cars in great demand among car enthusiasts, meaning it can afford to be selective about who buys its cars. In 1913, Aston Martin began as Bamford and Martin when owners Robert Bimbord and Lionel Martin became partners to sell and manufacture cars in London. Martin raced cars at Aston Hill, which is where Aston Martin gets half of its name from, the other half being the surname of Lionel Martin. Founded in 1913 by Lionel Martin and Robert Bamford, Aston Martin is acknowledged as an iconic global brand, synonymous with style, luxury, performance, and exclusivity. Here, 50 body makers produce around 150 car frames per week. A frame's job is to carry and later protect the drivetrain. This is Aston Martin DB. It is a crossover SUV produced by British luxury car marque Aston Martin since 2020. It is the first SUV the company has made. It has been described as both a full-sized and as a mid-sized vehicle. At the rear of the car is a carbon spoiler and splitter, as well as a 4-barrel exhaust system. The base of the car is equipped with standard 22-inch wheels, and 23-inch version is available as optional. This DBX SUV is Aston Martin's current best-selling model. Price is about $200,000 US, which is 160,000 GBP.